I'm here with Reg Crowshoe, who's chief of the Pagan Nation at the moment. That's the Pekani people of the Blackfoot Nation. And Reg is an old friend of mine and worked with me for many years on the development of this buffalo jump and helped us in a whole variety of ways make Head Smashed In a reality. And just going to talk to Reg about a couple topics that I want to address today. Reg, one of them is I'm curious to hear your Blackfoot perspective on the importance of the buffalo jump to the Plains Indians in general, I guess, and Blackfoot people in particular, as a way of gathering great amounts of food at one time. In terms of their lifestyle, you know, the traditional lifestyle in the dog days, going out and getting this much meat and fat and hide all at one time, and designing these great tricks that allowed them to do that. You can't help but think this must have been an incredibly important part of their traditional lifestyle. These great jumps figured very prominently in traditional Blackfoot culture.
Jeez. Okay, Jack.
Okay. Awagacina.
Sheep is tutuka.
Awagacina.
Hey. No, I just want to say it's important that, and I heard my dad, Joe Crowshoe Sr., I heard him when he was talking about the importance of Head Smashed In. One of the things he talked about was we're going to lose all our links to the past. And when I hear the old man talk about links, I hear him talking about things like practices. You know, how do we practice butchering a buffalo or even a cow today? How do we practice making pemmican and drying meat? And how do we practice even the ceremonial parts? And Head Smashed In was one of the stories that he talked about. And out of that story talks a lot about our practice, because I think it's important that there's a link and the practices are maintained. Because today our young people are drifting away from their culture and their practice. And the reason they're drifting away is there's no practices anymore. So Head Smashed In to me is an important symbol that represents the practices that we used to have, but also validates those practices so they're real, you know. And it's a source where you can come back and say, well, here's where my culture is. And I hear the old man saying that same thing. This is where my culture is. These are some of the landmarks or geographic sacred locations of my culture, and that's where I come back to renew it, you know.
Right.
And today, with the young people and the old people splitting up because of practice, if we can start bringing these symbols stronger in the practices, we can start bringing back our culture. So to me it was important, one of the most important sites.